Hi, it's Michelle Crawford. I decided to go live and do a demo of the ExtractCraft Source Turbo. Why? Because when I did my live stream the other week, that was one of the most requested things. And I just gave my first homemade health tinctures class to my first class on Saturday. And it was so awesome. I'm just really celebrating that accomplishment, you guys, for me and my business. I'm really happy to have all my students, and they're so excited to learn how to make my canna kit. So that's awesome. And guess what? They were also really excited to hear more about the Source Turbo over there. And they asked me for a demo. And I made one for them like on Saturday night. And I thought, can't leave my YouTubers out. But because I did that demo, I'm kind of all set up to do another kind of good one today. So I thought, let's take advantage of the time and do it. Let's do it, do it, do it. Okay, enough talking. Let's get to it. All right, so I'm going to do like basically a demo of how to do your very first run of like full extract cannabis oil in your Source Turbo. The number one thing, you are my fan, girl. I love you. Thank you for showing up. I don't know if I can interact with the Q&A a lot because it's like really far, but I see you, and I thank you. Yeah, we're doing a demo, right? Because everybody wants it. Okay. So the very first thing is I'm going to go ahead and say what I'm working with. I am working with some CBG stem cell chemovar from Horn Creek Hemp. This has been in my freezer for like more than a few days, you guys. The number one thing you want to do when you first get started is to grab your plant material that you're going to use and your alcohol and put them in your freezer right here. So that's where I got these things from my freezer, and so they're already cold. Let's go ahead and measure it out and combine it. I recommend starting out with about like 2 ounces. If that would be good. It fits really nicely in the jar, and it leads to you having about 2 or 4 runs of your Source Turbo. So I've got my jar. Let's just do this. I've got a scale. It measures in grams. You get this from Amazon. Mine's called Ozeri. $15 roughly. Turn it on. Put your jar on. I love these little canning funnels because they just keep things clean. Press tare, T-A-R-E, so it zeroes out your scale. And then start putting in your frozen cold cannabis. This is sugar leaf trim, like I said, CBG. So CBG rich, I'm going for CBGA in this extraction. I've got 17 grams. I got 27 grams. We're going for 56 grams, 2 ounces. 38. 52, so close. 57, taking it. 57 is good enough for me. All right, I should put that back in the freezer, but I just don't feel like it. Shake it off. All right, so see what I mean? 2 ounces. It fits great in a quart jar. Here's the cold alcohol. If I was being really like perfectionist about this, I would say like work fast, like do your cold temperatures and, don't delay in these steps. But you cover your plant matter with the cold alcohol and put about 1 inch above it, at least centimeter. It rises, look at that. But yeah, you can fill up your quart jar. You're gonna get basically 2 runs out of that. Okay, close your jar, give it a nice swirl, make sure everything's kind of wet. This is trim, so it's easy to use, it's inexpensive. Since it's already kind of clipped up, you can guarantee saturation is going to happen all through it. Put it in your refrigerator for 5 minutes. Freezer, I should say. Set the timer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ta-da! All right. So that's the first step. Combine cold, refrigerate your ingredients that you're going to use, your alcohol and your botanical. Take it out, or at least when it's cannabis, you should do the freezing thing. If it's something else like orange peels, it can be done at room temperature. It's fine. There's a whole matrix of stuff about that. But the reason why I thought that I could do this demo for you is because normally we have to wait 5 minutes for that, but I have one. I have an already created wash. This is the second wash from the one that I did for my students. So that's the first wash. It's going to go 5 minutes in my freezer. Then I'm going to take it out and separate it away from, pour the alcohol out into this bowl, putting this lid on the jar so that the cannabis stays in there. And then I'm going to put another, fill the jar again with cold alcohol that I've got in there and put it back for 10 more minutes. So that is what this is. This is the 10-minute wash from before. And to be honest with you, see the color, it's not that awesome. Maybe if I could put it in the sun, kind of green. I picked up a lot of chlorophyll. People wouldn't necessarily love this if they're anti-chlorophyll, but if you're pro-chlorophyll, you'll think it's fine. I like these little lids. Linda gave me one from my friend from ExtractCraft. You just screw it on and it has perforation. So when you pour out your alcohol, your flowers stay inside. So while we're waiting on that other thing, I'm going to show you filtration. Yay! Okay, so I've got my Source Turbo here, and what we're going to do is filter this wash. Let's plug it in. We don't need the globe right now. We don't need the crucible because what we're going to do is use its vacuum port for filtration, which I realized from my other live video was not visible. See that little port right there? This little white thing? That's the vacuum port. And that's what the tube sticks onto. You love how technical this is? That's what the tube sticks onto, the vacuum port. Okay, anytime the machine's plugged in, the fan runs. Let's grab our tube, Buckner filter, and flasks. This is a 1,000 milliliter flask, and this is a Buckner funnel. Always put the tip in away from the port so that your wash, when it gets filtered through here, doesn't accidentally get sucked into the vacuum port. That can happen. Okay, we attach the tube, the big end of the tube, to the large end of the vacuum flask port, and the little one goes on the tiny little source port. Alrighty, I need my papers, they're right here. I tried to do this in a coffee filter the other night, and I've never really had to before because I always had this filtration kit. It took a long time and I got impatient with it. I'm totally spoiled by vacuum filtration. I realize that now. I'm kind of sorry. I told people that you can do it this way. Not that it isn't true. It's just that I'm impatient. After all of this, which I'm about to show you, I just don't really enjoy waiting on these paper filters anymore. Okay, the first filter I'm going to use is a fast flow filter. You can see I just got everything from ExtractCraft. I know that they're out of these sets right now, so I hope they get those in stock again soon. Should call them. Okay, turn on the machine. That starts to close the vacuum. There's a little knob down here. Pour in a little bit of alcohol so that your filter gets wet. And go ahead and go for it. Watch that flow. Beautiful. Very close. I don't want to move the computer to show it to you, but inside the funnel, there's very little. Almost there, just some drips. Drippity drip, drip, drip. You want to get it all? Pokemon, gotta catch them all. Oh wow, it's been 5 minutes. All right, well, it turned off the machine, and because we're on video, I'm gonna unplug it because I don't want to hear the fan. But, ooh, look at this funnel. Here's what we got. So there's my wash. Looks pretty good. And here's the filter in the funnel. You can't really tell. The lighting in here isn't the greatest. It's just my kitchen, you guys, but there you go. Kind of see the light ring of little crap that got filtered out by the fast flow filter. We're gonna run it again in a slow flow, but first we gotta get our other stuff out of the freezer. The life of an extract crafter. All right, I've got this, and I guess we're gonna go with a big bowl. Let's put this off to the side for a sec. But here's our, oh, sometimes it's so hard to get these jar lids open when you take them out of the freezer. Oh. There we go. All right. I'm going to put the perforated lid on and try to get this alcohol off of my flour post-haste. Real quick. Wiki wiki. This is the easy way to do it. Absolutely. Go ahead and put a lid, some kind of lid on your jar. And it's just really easy to get your wash away from your flour this way. The thing that it doesn't do, though, is give you, after this wash or possibly after your second wash, or this is the second wash for me, but for no, this is the first wash. Sorry, this is the first one. But a lot of people use like a salad spinner and a hash bag to really get bone dry plant matter, get all their alcohol out. You'd be surprised if you spin your alcohol soaked plant matter in a filter bag or maybe like a cheesecloth, but I like to use a hash bag. Then and in a salad spinner, it will centrifuge out any alcohol that's in the plant matter, and it'll be like really dry, also evaporate it. So if you want to get like every single drop off, and a lot of people do, this is money. That's one way to do it. For us right now, after I make sure that we've pretty much got everything out of this first wash, what we're going to do is add alcohol back to this and put it back in the freezer for 10 minutes. So, oh my God, I'm too strong. Oh, I can't believe this. It's too hard. I don't know how it is like this is happening. I keep putting it on too tight for myself. Oh my goodness. Okay, struggles are real. I can't get it open. I'm just gonna put it back in the freezer for now. Maybe that will help. I should put alcohol in it, but I just can't. I just can't right now. Okay, I'm gonna get some blue tape because I don't want to mess up. And here's a pro tip for you. I don't want to mix up these tinctures. Yes. Thanks, Nia. So quick and, I don't know, what does that say? Friendly? User-friendly. Yeah, the filtration kit's not that hard. You can figure it out. I don't know why I was so intimidated before, but it's my pleasure to show people that it's easy and faster. And when I tried to do it the less expensive way with no coffee filter, with the coffee filters, I was so impatient with it. It just took so long. Maybe I'm missing something and I'm not using my coffee filters right. I'm sure that the people who use those all the time have tips and tricks, but I don't because I've been using the filtration system and loving it. It's great. It's fast. Okay, I just want to make sure that because this one is CBDA is what we filtered. I want to put that there. And then CBGA is what we just strained away from our jar in the freezer, I should say. Don't get them mixed up, Best to just make a little note to yourself. Okay, so what I want to do with this is filter it. So we're just going to filter it again. I'll show you again. I have 2 of these sets because I'm lucky. And let's just filter it again. Filter this other one. And then once you've got it kind of filtered the first time, you can put it back in the freezer. It actually improves it. Once you filter off all the kind of gross rough stuff and do maybe this first fast filtration, putting it back in the freezer for a little while longer, maybe overnight or at least an hour or 2. Overnight would be best. does something that in the chemistry world they call winterizing. It freezes up the fats and the lipids in there, and then if you do your next filtration after that, you'll pull more of that off. If you do it while it's warmer, it's like a little bit harder because they're not so chunky, those fats. They're not so easy to filter out. You know, maybe they're in a liquid form and something like that. So winterization, the act of putting your like grossly filtered wash back into the freezer for a while to solidify the fats and lipids in it and get even more of those out on your next round of filtration, is a quality process. Does increase quality. Okay. Attach. I'm going to put this label on the flask. Your fast flow filters again. Pop one into the Buckner and filter away, right? Ta-da, da-da-da. Getting it wet makes the paper kind of suck down to the bottom of the funnel, allowing a better seal to happen. Okay, plug in the machine, press the button, make sure it's closed, pour it in. It's almost already done. All right, I'm going to open up the vacuum, grab the Buckner, show you what we've got. Look, CBGA, very beautiful. And here's the Buckner filter, very dirty. Let's see if we can get some light on it. Dirty. So, wow, that's a lot. See, way more than before. The other one was the second filtration. This is the first. And you can see that's a ton. If you like try to run your filter, your wash without getting this stuff out, it's gonna, thank you so much, Nia. It is beautiful, isn't it? But if you try to run it with all this stuff in it, it's gonna splatter all up in there and your wash is gonna be full of all these little plant particulates. It's just really, your concentrate will be lumpy and gross. Like you won't like it. It's not gonna be good. That's why you gotta filter. Okay, what's next? What's next is, because that was already second filtered, I'm going to just go ahead and show you putting it into the source for actual processing. Okay, so here's the source. Dun-dun. Now we're going to take this CBDA that's been filtered twice already. We did it once, but I did it before showing you. But I showed you 2 filtrations, so now you've seen it. Okay, now we're going to actually do the processing part. Here's the source turbo, here's the base, here's the button, here's the knob, here's the heating post, here's the seal, globe, crucible. Okay, the crucible has a fill line. The fill line, oh my God. Nope. It's right there, but you can't see. Okay, never mind, I'm gonna stop. Hi. So, hi Coyote. See what you got me doing? I just decided I'm just gonna go on live and do a demo. I don't care anymore. I couldn't show the fill line. I just can't get the light on it correctly. But you grab your source crucible, and you fill it to the fill line. It's about 300 milliliters. So you see here we have almost 600. That's the 600 line right there. So we have about 600 milliliters in this flask. That's perfect because that's about 2 runs in the source. 10 ounces, 300 milliliters. Fill it to the fill line, pop it in the machine, press the button, pretty much get on with your life, because the first 2 hours of whichever run you choose, the source turbo run or the regular mode, whichever mode, the first run, you basically just have to get all the way through it. Then in your second run is when you're going to have to start like checking it every once in a while and looking at it and seeing like, is it at the viscosity that I like or not before you pull it. All right, did you see that? I filled it, I poured it in, I stuck it in the crucible, I put the lid on. Let's plug the machine back in. Oh man, it's gonna have to turn it to the side because it just can't reach. And maybe I can kind of go angle with it. The fan's always on. I'm at sea level, so you do have to do an altitude adjustment when you first get your machine, the very first time you use it. I already did it. Make sure that this little knob is all the way to the closed position, which allows the vacuum to be set up. Press the button. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was turbo mode. When it blinks twice, that means I put it into turbo mode, which I almost always use turbo mode because I don't know if you figured it out, but I'm a little impatient. So the vacuum is going to set up the machine, and once it's achieved the vacuum inside, then it's just going to gently heat up your tincture, and it's going to evaporate off, hit the lid. Speaking of that, it comes with an ice pan. I'm not sure where my ice pan is right now. I just put a block of ice on top to assist the alcohol in recondensing, turning into a liquid, and then you can collect it in your globe. I hope you heard all that. I know the fan was loud. But yeah, you need this little ice thing on top. It really helps keep the lid cooler so that your alcohol will recondense and land in your globe. So that then you can pour it back into your jar and use it again. No more Everclear. You bought it. You're using it. This is like the 4th time I've used this, 5th maybe. You know, I'm not buying any alcohol anytime soon. I'm reusing. I need to get this open. Okay, so this is going to run for a couple of hours. I'm going to press the button and run it again. And when it finishes, I usually don't pour it out on a mat, but I just did for fun. And I just want to show you guys what I did. So the CBDA that I already did 2 runs, I pour it out onto this mat. Ta-da! Let's just show you even closer. There it is. In reality, I'm probably going to let this just make sure that it's all evaporated, the alcohol. And I'm going to probably just add like a milliliter or 2 of MCT oil to this just to get it like viscous or like a thickness and fluidity that I can suck up into a syringe. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, the smells? Yeah, honestly, because this is a CBDA run and I didn't decarb, it smells great. The strain was, the chemovar was Hawaii's trim, sugar leaf trim from Fields of Hemp and Hawaiian Haze. I don't know if you smelled that hemp chemovar, but it has a lot of great terps. I mean, anything Hawaiian, you know, is going to have that myrcene. It does smell really good. I almost always make pre-decarb stuff, so the terps on this are just great. And I'm not like the artisan of terpenes that some of the people in the ExtractCraft group are. You know, this is like homemade health, you guys, here live in Michelle's kitchen. But I think that if you were to smell this and make something out of this that was even smokable, I don't think you'd be sorry. I think it would be great. I should probably try it, but I'm just eager to get it into a syringe because that's my jam. Okay, so that's kind of it. I think once this runs and it goes through its second thing, I can't really show you right now, but when you look at it in the machine, you can kind of tilt the machine back and forth and look down through the lid, and you can see when your extract is about the size of like a silver dollar or a quarter, around there, and has the fluidity of light oil or maybe slightly thicker oil, just a little bit of fluidity. That's when you want to just stop the machine and get on with the rest of your process, whether it be pouring out onto a mat or adding some alcohol or oil and putting it into a bottle or a syringe or however you're storing. Right? Oh, you do have Hawaiian haze. And Kayona has, all right, Hawaiian ladies in the house. What is it? My son is singing that Moana song. And you'll never know how far I'll go. All right, I think that's it. I've already got my dance on. We've got our Source Turbo on. You guys came on board with completely impromptu live. I got to say, mwah, thank you. And that's it for today. I think we did good. What do you think? Ellie's favorite. Oh, awesome. Hawaiian haze. I know, right? Good smells. I wish you could smell that one. It's one of the better ones I've made, that's for sure, in terms of terpenes. All right, everyone. Love. Bye. Nice to see you.